Good evening. We're going to start today with lesson 2 in our unit 3, multiply by multiples of 100 and 1,000. So as we're working on this lesson tonight, I want you to think about this question. How can thinking about place value units help us to multiply by multiples of 100 and 1,000? Liz finishes playing a board game and counts her money. She has 3 $5 bills, 3 $50 bills, and 3 $100 bills. How much money does Liz have? Well, if we look over here, we have 3 $5 bills. We have 3 $50 bills and 3 $100 bills. That we're seeing that 3 is a factor in each one of these questions. So we have to know what a $5 bill is worth, right? So we say 3, because 3 is a factor in this question, because each one of them has 3. So we have 3, and the $5 bill value is $5. So 3 times 5 is 15. Now we could find the totals by adding the totals together. We could be skip counting by hundreds and fifties and fives, or we can rely on good old multiplication and group those bills together by the value. And anytime we say groups of, we know that we're going to be multiplying. So we have another factor of 3, and 3 groups of 50. The $50 bill is worth 50. And we know that 3 times 5 is 15, and we have that 0 because we're moving up another place. So we have 15 ones. Now we're going into the tens. We're adding on that 0 to 150. And we have 3 times 100, because one of these bills is worth 100, but we have 3 groups of it, so it's 300. Okay, so if we are if we have 100ths and we're going over, we're going to actually have 300s and group them together. We're going to have 3 groups of 100. All right, so how much money does she have? Well, then we would just add this all up. We have 300, 150, which would give us 450, plus the extra $15 would be $465 is how much money Liz received after playing the board game. Now notice again, here we have that factor. Each one of these has a factor of 3. And all we had to do is just multiply the value. And every time we're noticing, we're adding more to that place value chart. We're moving it over, gaining a 0. And so here is the different ways we can multiply the multiples of tens, hundreds, and thousands. Okay, we're going to use the place value disc to help us with the unit form. So we have 2 groups of 3 ones. So 2 groups. Here's a group of 3 ones. Again, the groups of, the word of means multiplication. So 2 times 3 ones would give us 6 ones. That's the unit form. All right, what about 2 times 3 tens? Well, we have 2 groups of 3 tens, and that would give us 6 tens. That's the unit form. We have 2 times 3 hundredths. So we're putting each group into 2 equal groups because we're multiplying by 2, and we have 3 in each group. We have 2 groups of it, so it's 6 hundredths. All right, the next one we have thousands. So when we're doing it into 2 equal groups, we've got 1 group and a second group. 2 groups of 3 thousands is equal to 6 thousands altogether. And again, in unit form. Next problem we have is 6 times 2. Again, knowing your facts is very important for this unit because we're going to be multiplying and dividing this whole unit 3. So you got to know your facts, your basic facts. Okay, so here we have 6 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 rows of 2. 6 groups of 2. So another way of saying this would be 6 groups of 2 ones would give us 12 ones. But in standard form, we could just say 12. Okay, but if we continue on with this, we could just see this pattern, this renaming this. So if we have 6 groups of 2 tens, we're going to say that this is 12 tens. If we continue on, 6 groups of 2 hundreds, renaming this, we're going to say 12 hundredths. Notice the pattern is still the same because we're multiplying these two factors, 6 and 2, and it's going to give us 12. Same thing we can do for thousands. 6 times 2 thousands is going to be equal to 12 thousandths. Oops. A little mistake there, sorry. Okay, you see how every time we're just multiplying 6 times 2, and each time we're getting 12, but we're adding it on a different unit form. Same thing happens when 4 times 5. Well, 4 times 5, we could say the same thing again for 4 times 50. 4 times 500. 4 times 5,000. And they're going, each time we see the 4 times 5, we see these factors, but we're adding on those extra zeros to show that we're moving up in the place value chart. So 4 times 5 is 20. They're each going to equal 20. But we have these zeros, so how much extra zero we're moving up? We're adding on 1 zero. How about this one? We're adding on 2 zeros. This one, we're adding on to 3 zeros. In this next one, we're going to use the associative property to multiply in standard form. Now, we see 6,000 times 3. We're going to group the multiplication fact that we know so well, 6 times 3, and we're going to multiply that by 1,000. Just going to take these two guys and multiply them and multiply that extra 1,000. So we know that 6 times 3 is 18. We're multiplying that by 1,000. 18 times that 1, well, that's 18. And then we have that 1,000. So we bring that down. We have 18,000. So 6,000 times 3 is 18,000. If you notice in this next one, in a unit form and standard form, it's basically saying the same thing. So we've got 6 times 500, 6 times 5 hundredths is equal to 30 hundredths. 30 hundredths is just saying 3,000. Over in standard form, we have 6 times 500, and then we're going to use that associative property to help break it down. 6 times 5 is 30. And we know we're multiplying in the hundredths. So 30 times 100 is 3,000. Because you bring down your 30 and you're multiplying by 100. So that's where you get those 2 extra zeros. All right, solve this riddle by solving the next 3 problems. Why can't a leopard hide? 200 times 5 is equal to what product? 3 times 7,000 is equal to what product? 5 times 400 is equal to what product? Why can't a leopard hide? Because he's always spotted. Have a wonderful night.